Hi there friends, I'm Sherry with The Homespun Wife, and I'm coming to you today to share with you what I am up to. It is very hot in North Carolina today. It's going to get up to 100 degrees and it's going to be muggy and humid, and there's no chance of storms today. Chance of storms tomorrow, so we're not going to get any rain. It's just going to be a really hot day. And so my husband and I have just been staying inside. Today is his day off from work, and he got up early this morning and he watered our garden and did some outside things he needed to get done. And then we have simply been staying inside. I think this afternoon I'm going to work on my English paper piecing quilt, and we are going to rest. And then later this afternoon he has to go into town, and he calls ball games, baseball games for the American Legion. And so he's going to be busy, but before he goes, I hope that we can have some dinner. And in an effort not to heat up the kitchen a lot with getting the stove going and the oven going, I just decided to make some chicken and dumplings in the crock pot, and I thought some of you might like to see the recipe that I follow and how I do that. So come with me and let me show you what I do. And this is the size crock pot that I use most of the time now that it's just me and my husband. I used to have a larger one, but I really love this size. And I got this crock pot for $12.88 at Walmart on a special. And I have really loved using it, and it's a good brand, so I recommend it if you're looking for one. And how I start out is with the frozen chicken breast. Now, some people like to use the chicken breasts that are fresh, and that's fine if you have that. But it just so happens that I tend to keep these chicken breasts in my freezer all the time, and it's wonderful to cook from frozen with these because you do not have to have a ton of planning ahead. And in a minister's family, the plans can change pretty rapidly from day to day, and things can happen. And so if a previous plan that I had didn't go through, then I know that I can always turn to these frozen chicken breasts. And if I do have something thought out and then we aren't able to be at home to cook it because there is an emergency, then I always feel bad about that. So I tend to use these frozen chicken breasts. You use about 4 of these in this recipe. You put them here in your crock pot. I use about half of this carton of chicken broth. I just pour that around the chicken, and then I put on garlic powder. Now, I'm not really good at measuring, so I just give a good, dose around all of the chicken breast. You can use more if you really like the garlic type flavor. I do. We really love the seasoning. And you can use less or some other type of seasoning if you don't really care for garlic powder. And then I also use some salt and pepper. And I just coat the entire pot inside with garlic powder and the salt and pepper. And then I add 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. And I add 1 chopped onion. And I just dump all of that in there. I'll let you see I've got it going. I just started it a short time ago, so it's really just now getting started. So I'm going to put that lid back on so it'll keep cooking. It's starting to smell good. And so I will cook this on high for 3 hours, or you can cook it on low for about 5 to 6 hours. Since I didn't start till around lunchtime, I'm going to be cooking it on high. And then once those 3 hours pass, I will take my chicken and I will use 2 forks and I will pull it apart into bite-sized pieces. You can either remove the chicken breast from the crock pot, or if they're really tender, which mine tend to be, you just get in there and start pulling the chicken apart, and it just comes apart so easily. I typically don't have to remove it from the crock pot. And then what I will do is I will take 1 to 2 cans, depending on how many dumplings you like, of my biscuits here, and I will cut each biscuit into fourths, and then I will dump those dumplings down in there. If you need a little bit more liquid, you can always add some more chicken broth to the stock that you're going to have in your crock pot at that time. And then dump those biscuits down in there and let it cook for about 1 more hour. And then you will be totally ready to go with chicken and dumplings that you don't have to cook on the stove. And I love that on days like today when it's really hot and just don't want to fool with having to stand over the stove and cook. So thank you guys for spending some time with me today and seeing how I make my crock pot chicken and dumplings. What do you do on hot summer days when you don't want to cook, other than maybe going out to eat? Those things are lots of fun to go out and eat, but in an effort to be a little bit more frugal, we try to eat at home many nights as we can. Maybe go out to eat once or twice a week, maybe once for lunch and once for dinner. And we try to select places where we might have a coupon, or where they might be having a special going on, a place that we know that won't be too expensive for us to be able to indulge on going out. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up, for liking and subscribing to my videos. It sure is a blessing to me. See you later, friends. Bye-bye.